Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged Bookish Thoughts with Listen Carrie.
Yay!
I'm here this time. Yay!
Well, actually, this one will go out
vixens.
Before after this one. So
Well,
you're good.
Pre-warning, Carrie will be missing from the next episode because I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit.
Not it. Not at all.
Life is kicking us right in the cooters lately, and
it's been rough.
Here we are. But with that being said, let's look at the clusterfuck that was April. Surprisingly enough, I read 7 books.
Did you? I read 10.
I read 7.
And I'm going to warn everybody, I have a puppy now. So he is either chewing on my foot or he's like licking me. So if you randomly hear noises, it's just a puppy. It's just a puppy. So
the sweetest boy, the sweetest puppy.
He pretends to be. His name is Havoc, and he does wreak it. He is very much Havoc.
It's incredibly fitting for us.
Yes, it is.
And the podcast. He's our new mascot.
It's our unofficial mascot. So I did 10 books in April, and so I thought I read more, and I was like, I swear I read more than 10, but the mood reading was mood reading, so it is what it is.
I think yet again, we might have tried to read more than that, but we probably DNF'd a lot.
I actually only DNF'd 2. I was shocked by that. I was like, how did I only DNF 2 books? I feel like I was DNFing left and right.
I did not read enough to DNF.
You know what? I did DNF more. I just never recorded them because I DNF'd 4 books in 1 week. And so, and I only recorded 2 of them, so... Well, it's fine.
Like always, we'll list all of them and then we'll pick like 2 favorites.
Yeah.
Can we do
2's good.
2? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Surprisingly enough, gang, I didn't read only hockey romance this month.
What?
Yeah.
What?
But I did finally, I wore a shirt.
Oh, it's perfect.
I figured it was time that I started representing where I'm usually at, which is hockey romance. My first read of the month was a hockey romance, though. I read Change on the Fly by Marion Moore.
Okay.
It's like a single dad hockey romance situation. Pretty good. And then I switched over to like a dark, like monster-esque romance, which is Nocturnal by Clio Evans.
Oh yeah.
10 out of 10.
I need to read that one yet.
Super
That's
good.
on my May list, so
you'll love that one. And then I jumped into an arc that I got from Holly June Smith. I read the No Rules Roommate, which is like a roommates to lovers situation.
Isn't her like debut into contemporary romance? Or no?
No,
you said Holly June Smith. I was thinking Holly Renee, not Holly June Smith. That would make sense, because I know Holly Renee is coming out with a contemporary romance too, isn't she?
She's coming out with a cowboy romance.
There we go. See? I'm just mixing the Hollies up.
All the Hollies they've got stuff going on.
All the Hollies.
I don't know if we want to mention this one, but Liz and I did try to buddy read several books this month, one of which was That S'mores Like It.
Oh, I did read that. I finished that. I didn't even put that on my list.
We were...
So 11.
Yeah. We weren't gonna talk about it, but I just am like, it can be an honorable mention.
I did read this. I did read that.
That's S'mores Like It.
The only reason I also remember now, after you mention it, is because Theo said something to me. He was like, or did he say it in our chat? He was like, you need help.
Yeah. I meant to message all of us in our group chat, but I messaged the chat with just me and those two, and I was like, I think it was the graham cracker's name.
Yeah.
Or no, the chocolate, right? Was named Theo.
It was also named Theo, yes.
And
he's
so
like, you need Jesus.
Yeah. It was a whole thing.
That's what it's from. He must have screenshotted your conversation and sent it to me, because I was like, where is he getting that I'm reading this? Yes. That's where it is. He's like, y'all need Jesus.
So we tried. Theo. We're not gonna dive into that one.
That was it was something.
It was something. We both decided we're gonna keep going on this one. Like, we're done. Next up, I read a fantasy. Well, like a Lady of the Lake which is book 3 in the Fay Spy Academy by C.N. Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited about this one.
I heard that one even gets better, so I'm looking forward to reading that trilogy.
It really does. Like, book 1, you think it's going to go in a direction, and then after book 2, it just explodes into an entirely different thing, and then book 3 it's so good. So
it feels like that's how, like, CN's books go. Like, the first one's good. Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, the first book. But hers are always, like, the first book is good. And then the second one...
Yeah.
Hold on to your pants, okay?
Yeah.
It's going to knock them off. And so I'm excited to read that one.
Yeah. That one was incredible. They are thicker books, so, like, just know that. But it's still, like, super, like, consumable. Next up was On Guard by Denise Stone. This was like a movie star meets, like, what's it called when you're a sword fighter? Like, athletic?
Fencing.
Movie star meets fencing.
That's
legend.
Different.
It's a wild situation, but it was cute. It was good. He yearns. And then to wrap up, April, the last book I read was Wolf.e.
It's Wolf.
Wolf by Paisley. Wolf by Paisley Hope. Those are my lists.
That's pretty good. That was a good month, though. Especially with everything you've got going on. To do 7, that's impressive. That's
bold
impressive.
Of me.
So I was all over the place, as per usual. A lot of new authors. I don't think I only have one author on the list that is a repeat for me. So let's get into this. So I read at the very end of March into, like, I think it was April 1st, I was reading Calamity by Constance Fay. It's a sci-fi romantasy kind of vibes. It's really good, and I can't wait to read Fiasco, which is book 2. It's like a interconnected series, and the 3rd book recently came out. And I was talking to her on Threads, and I was like, I can't wait for, like, the audiobook for book 3. And she's like, they're not making one. And the devastation I felt, I may write her publisher because I need the 3rd book.
Yeah.
I need that. It's really good, though. It's definitely one of my top reads. I read All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. That was my first expedition into her books. First Time Caller that was the BK one. BK Borison.
BK Borison, yep.
Then I read The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates. That's the same author as Dead Winter that I read, where, like, I was like, oh, the bear took the head off. Same author. Okay. Then I read Barbarian's Hope because I'm going to continue just slowly getting through the Barbarian series. Tress of the Emerald Sea, Wolf. Then I read Thorn Hedge by T.K. Fisher and Knights of Obedience by Rachel Mays. And then The Scattered Bones by Nicole Scarano, I think is how it's pronounced. So quite a mix. I have sci-fi, romantic suspense, rom-com, thriller, horror, aliens, whatever you want to call Brandon Sanderson. It was all over the place.
A little bit of everything. You were very much in, like, the kind of leading away from romance a little bit because it just hasn't been hitting for you.
It has not.
Lately.
And right now I'm reading a thriller, technically, I think it's called. It's not my favorite, so I'm just going to finish it out. But there's a couple, most of the books that I have on my list for May that I want to read. Actually, no, because I've got 2 romantasies that I want to read in May that are coming out. So at least 2. One, of course, is Rachel Gillig, but I can't wait for hers.
I have an absolute fuck ton of arcs to read.
So you got to get through.
Oops.
Actually, there are 3 because Tara DeWitt's book comes out this month. Her new one.
Oh, yeah. I did request that on NetGalley.
I did too, and I got denied.
I didn't.
It's okay.
Who's to say? I don't know. I haven't gotten anything.
Really, I don't know. So, out of all your books, what would you say are your top 2? Let's go over your first one.
Top 2. First one is definitely going to be Nocturnal by Clio Evans. I just feel like, especially after coming off of reading, like, really light, I wouldn't maybe actually say that Citrus Cove series was light because it is like a thriller, but like more of that, like, leaning towards, like, regular, quote unquote, regular romances. This one was a lot of fun. It was incredibly dark in terms of, like, like the dark academia, the death in it, that kind of thing. And then it is monster smut. So like, don't go into this thinking this is gonna be
like
your old
Nocticadia, right, kind of thing, like it,
right,
that kind of vibe. It's still similar vibes, it sounds like, but it's more like monster and dark.
Yeah, I would actually say it's incredibly close to like the situation of Professor, Dark Academia, that kind of thing. But imagine like demons involved, and like
all the things, and of course there's gonna be like angst and tension and swooning because it's Clio.
So much. It's really good. It's not very long either. Like I read it in one night. So if you love that sort of thing, this one is. If you like Dark Academia meets monster smut, absolutely this is for you. Like without a doubt.
And then what would you say for your no on that one, if that's not your vibe?
If you don't like it's not like vanilla. You know what I mean? Like there are going to be not your average regular like body parts, that kind of thing. It is like very, very, very spicy. It's very explicit. And I would also say like stalking vibes, that kind of thing. Like these are going to be elements of more like intense nature. So more of the darker, like dark romance, not taboo, but like that spectrum versus, because we've had conversations about the definition of dark when it comes to like genres. Because like I say dark, my book's a dark romantasy, but it's not dark in the sense of like, I almost said stalking, but can't use that one per se, but like the darker themes, right? Like that happen in a lot, like first come to mind like Haunting Adeline kind of vibes. That's like the dark side. Mine's more of like all the other stuff that happens. So like murder, torture, all of those things on the other end. So like that dark spectrum. So it's definitely leading more towards the like dark romance side of it, which is not bad. And I'm sure Clio does it very well. I just need to read it. It's on, like I said, on my list for May. Yeah.
So my favorite book this month was definitely Calamity. I really loved it. I went into it not expecting to like it. And like I couldn't stop giggling. Like if you like, this is my guess, if you like dark humor, very sarcastic, dryness, which is 100% my vibe, you will love this book. It is so funny. At one point, they're like, her and the guy are starting to get like intimate, and she looks at the bed because it's like a spaceship, because it's sci-fi and they are in space, and she's like, "You're not gonna fit," and he's like, "We'll make it work." She's like, because she was like going for the bed to like his crotch to him and like everywhere. She's like, "It's not gonna fit," because he's like 6'4", like gigantic. She barely fits in it. He's like, "We'll make it fit."
Oh my god!
Just like continues with it. And I was like, "Sir, what are you doing?"
Yeah, but also like that's kind of hot. Like I'm kind of into that.
Well, and they were stuck. There's a lot of like forced proximity, lots of flirting, forbidden in a way of like romance, because she is an outcast. She's been like exiled from like everything for things that she's done. And he is like a noble essentially in this world. So like high society, like you want to be one of these people, like the top families that are in the group. And they're like on this mission together in like the wilderness, and somehow they're like flirting, you know, like the flirty back and forth, like poking at each other. She ends up on his lap. And she's like, "What is that underneath me?" And then like chaos ensues. Like they end up getting in a battle, and then she's in like the sick ward, and her friends come in and they're like, "So we heard you were sitting on something." She's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." They're like, "How exactly did you end up straddling him?" She's like, "Shut up, go." They're like, "Sometimes when I'm just walking, I fall on men's laps. It just happens." Like, this is so, like, the banter between the friends and everything, it's great. A lot of found family. If you don't like a lot of sci-fi talk and, like, action, this is not for you. There's a lot of action in it. Like, there's a lot of taking down, like, bad people. I don't know how to, like, the oppressors, right? The people who are oppressing, like, the lower class, taking down them. So there's a lot of like mystery involved. And so if you're not into like spaceships,
sure,
that's a big one. Or like science, like based, like magic system, I would call it. It's not, but it's like science based stuff. This is not for you. But if you like a man that's like, why doesn't your equipment work the same as everyone else? She's like, because I'm poor. And he's like, bitch, no. And he just replaces everything.
I don't know why when I heard you say equipment, I thought you were saying clit. Why doesn't your clit work the same way? And I was like,
equipment. Like her spacesuit. Her spacesuit's very old because she's poor. And he didn't like that. And so he just replaced the entire thing.
I'm following now.
He's like, and he did it in like a way where she had no way of like saying no. He's like, why isn't this working? And so they get back and she goes to like change into her suit again. And it's just completely replaced with a brand new one. She's like, who the fuck took my suit? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And just like walks away. He's like, you didn't have night vision, woman. She's like,
honestly, you had me at 6'4".
I think that's how tall. He was very tall. Very tall. If I haven't sent you the art from Constance's like website, I'll have to, because the height difference between them, you're definitely like, no wonder she was like, it won't fit. Yeah. Because she's tiny and he's very large. Very large.
You got to send that to me.
I'm going to have to. It's good.
I eat that up.
Yeah, it's great though. I definitely recommend people checking it out. I loved it. It's so much fun.
I don't know what to pick for my last one. I'm stuck between the Lady of the Lake and the No Rules roommate. I think I'm going to go with the No Rules roommate because that's more of the vibe that I've been in lately.
And you did love that one.
I did love the Lady of the Lake, everybody. But the No Rules roommate, it was 82 chapters long. I read it in one sitting. I stayed up
you did.
Like almost all night. I think I stayed up till like 2:30 or 2:40.
It brought you joy that I haven't seen in quite some time.
I needed this book.
No.
I needed this book. And it's so funny because when books like this come into my life, I'm like, Liz, I have this new energy. I am going to be posting every day. I'm living my life. It doesn't last long, but for at least 3 days, I was on a high after this book. I would say my yeses are, if you like the forced proximity roommates to lovers, I love that. There's an age gap. The female main character, she is 32. Male main character, he is 24, then he turns 25. We are following Ollie and Megan, and they're adorable. Like, she is really down on her fucking luck in everything. This is also a part of like a series. It's a Sunshine Book Club romance. It's book 3. They are like all standalones that you could, you don't have to read in order, but I'd recommend it because other things happen in the other books that you'll know about in this book. So if you don't want anything spoiled for you, definitely read them in order, but you can read them alone. My no's. What would be my no? I would say, you know how sometimes people don't like it when the female main character is like, not helpless, but like beat down a lot. Like she's really, like I said, she's down on her luck. And sometimes I think people can take that as like a woman being whiny. Like, woe is me. And
complaining too much.
Yeah. And I could understand if people get that vibe from this, but I promise you, like, I think she's really relatable in the sense that all of us have felt. I love this one though. It is, and also I'd say maybe a no because it is long, but it's really good. It's worth reading, in my opinion. So really spicy.
All 80 some chapters. It's worth every chapter that's in there.
I didn't even like scroll like through to get through some of the stuff. It was all really, really good. There's a lot of sweet moments. And you have a male main character. He's, like I said, 24 going on to 25, but he's so mature. And I love that. Yeah, I love them. I love him. I love her. And it's really spicy and good. And I recommend it. It's a really lighthearted, fun read. So
good. I mean, it was perfect for like what you needed, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think so. I'm kind of torn between doing Barbarian's Hope, because I kind of feel like that's like a cop-out, because I always have, like every month I read a Barbarian book. So I'm going to go with Knights of Obedience, because one, I did enjoy it quite a bit, and two, it's by Rachel, and I adore Rachel. She's also an Ohio author, and so I have, oh, wait a second. I have her book. It's right here. I read 2 physical books. Is this one signed? I got this from, it is signed by Rachel too. So there's a bookstore up towards Toledo, Ohio, that stocked my book, and they stock local, mainly focusing in Ohio indie authors. And so they had Rachel's book there. And so I made sure to pick hers up so that I have a copy of it. And this was before, like, I knew of her. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to get it. Didn't know anything about the book. I just knew that I was knowing Rachel. I know her more now, I would say. And so, yeah, she's fantastic. I was very nervous. I won't lie. I was very nervous to read her book because it does teeter the line of dark romance and dark romantasy. And as many of you know, if you've been with us, I am not a dark romance girly. It's not something I like. This one is very dark. Read the trigger warnings. It is about captivity and the things that come about from that. Understand that it is a very dark book, so no, if you're not into that, read the trigger warnings. However, I did enjoy it way more than I was expecting. The story is really good. It's written in, you know how there's sometimes when you read a romantasy where it's like not digestible? Is that a good way to describe it?
Yes.
This one, it's got like the perfect, like, okay, so CN is a great example. Like, her books are descriptive without being over descriptive, where they're easily digestible and you feel like you're just like in the story, right? You're just like, not, I don't want to say vibing, because I feel like saying that you're vibe reading is like a bad connotation anymore, but like you're just like vibing with the story. You're like, yeah, it's like happening. Like, this is funny. Did I have inappropriate images flash in my head that were nothing to do with what was happening in the story? Like, I had messaged you and Ariel about one scene in particular, and I was like, I know this isn't what it's supposed to look like, but this is where my brain went, and it had nothing to do with the story. This was just me and my stupidity of my brain. But again, very dark. So if you like forced proximity, grumpy guard, and like arranged marriage-esque, this is going to be for you. So a little like brief synopsis of this book, because this is kind of not like spoiling anything, because I'm pretty sure this is how Rachel advertises it. You have an arranged marriage between a princess of another kingdom, or like a noble of another kingdom, going to marry the king. So, beginning of the story, you go and you follow her over to their kingdom, and she gets to meet this guy for like essentially the first time, really. She's met him. He's a business acquaintance of her father, so he is older. And she's now like of age. She's very pretty now. So his wife died and he needs a queen. And so they made a deal, and now she's going to be his queen. She doesn't know much about him, and she's like scared, obviously, because it's an arranged marriage, but he's like so nice. He's so freaking sweet to her, and he's just like, I just want you to be comfortable. And unfortunately for him, he has a very grumpy brother.
Oh,
very
hot.
grumpy brother. So she ends up needing to train with the brother, and he's like doesn't like her because he's like, your family is backstabbing, like they're only in this for the money, like you're not even here for love, you need to get out, you're a plague on my kingdom, get out of here. So he like is not nice to her at all. And there's a training scene, so if you love that, you'll love this. However, they get captured, her and the brother get captured for a very long time by the bad people. Horrific things happen to them, like really, really bad things, but it brings them together, and he becomes obsessed with her, and she's just like, yes, I'm falling in love with you. And you have to like follow their journey of like being in captivity, and he like tries to be like stoic and like not give in to anything, but unfortunately for him, that's not how things work. So
that puss is too good. I'm just kidding.
Too good. It's too good. But he is very grumpy. Like when you first meet him, you're like, you're an asshole. I don't like you at all. And like his brother, they're very much like Sunshine and like grumpy as brother, the two brothers.
So it's literally Mendax and Eli.
Yes. Yes. Which is probably why I'm like, I don't know if I like this guy, but it's told very well. Yeah. There are, again, trigger warnings. There's a lot of darkness in this. But watching them like go through all of that, it's done really, really well. And like kudos to Rachel on writing something that is very dark in topic, but having like a lightness to it where these two people through their trauma are like coming together and like figuring out what to do. Like they're like, hey, we need to escape. Like, how do we escape?
Coming together.
They're coming together.
Thank you.
Yes. And it's very, it's good. I will say I like it a lot. Again, I liked it way more than I thought it would. And this is on me. I really thought it was like modern times.
Oh.
So when I started it and they were in a kingdom and they were hopping on a carriage, I was so confused.
You were like, what the fuck?
I was like, what do you mean that she's becking and getting in a carriage? I thought this was modern. And then I was like, I really probably should read blurbs and not like go into, I just knew it was a dark, I was putting it off because it was a dark romance. And I was like, I don't know. It kept me entertained. It was fun. It was a good time. It's a good time in the way that I enjoyed the story, and I'm looking forward to reading more of her books because she has another series, so I'm looking forward to it as well.
I have that one added because once school's over, I really want to start getting into more fantasy again. I feel like maybe I'll have more brain power. Will I? Probably not.
Probably not.
It's not feeling as such, but
no, it's weird. I can't process like romantasy, and it's the romance aspect of it. I think that's what I'm having my most struggle with because I can read a fantasy, but I'm also like, I don't know what mood I'm in right now because I was like, oh, I'm gonna try Brandon Sanderson for the first time, and it's not that Tress of the Emerald Sea isn't good. It's that I'm not a cozy fantasy person.
Yeah,
and I was like, why is this taking so long?
Yeah.
It's good.
I have such high expectations for like our summer reads, and I think that's where I'm going wrong is I'm not like, I'm just like, oh, I'll be done with school, so like let's dive into it, and I think that's the issue is
probably we're
doing our best. We're doing our best.
It's, I think it's a lot of things that are happening right now. And so this is just like us being transparent with everyone. We have a lot of things going on in our lives. A ton of things. Carrie's finishing up this semester of school. She'll be done very soon. But there's just a lot of shit happening. And we are losing brain power. And honestly, because of that, it's making reading feel like more of a chore than it actually is enjoyable. And I think we've said this many times, like, I miss the days that reading was enjoyable. I don't know what I need to read to get to that point, which, I read Barbarian's Hope thinking that would bring me out of, like, my slump, and I didn't realize what that one was about, and it was very sad. I was like, that's not what I was expecting. I was, like, crying at, like, 1 a.m. reading this because of, like, as soon as I, like, got into it and I heard what the couple had experienced, I went, this was not the right book for me. I should have skipped this one, but it's so good.
We are trying to find pockets of peace where we can, and it's just not working out right now. But hey, we did pretty good. I would say 7 and 11 books is not bad, even if one of them was sentient s'mores.
I blame Chelsea for that one because she posted it too. She's like, oh, I have these like novellas, and I was like, yeah, we should totally read these. And then you saw one about it, and I was like, yeah, let's totally read these. And I think when she described it as Sausage Party but in book format, it was so gross.
Yeah, no, we should have stopped immediately, but still, oddly enough, more enjoyable than Basted. I'll just say that.
Yeah. I always reference that when someone's like, what's the most unhinged thing you've read? And I go, Basted. I had a whole chat on TikTok about it. Someone's like, what's the most unhinged read? And I said, Basted. And they're like, okay, I need to know more. And I said, it's about turkey basters, sentient turkey basters. And they said, what?
I just got an actual shiver down my spine thinking about that.
That was like, I still think so. I read the first book of the DNF series. I think that Basted should be part of that series because like that I could get through the first one. Basted was a little bit hard for me, but I don't know. I want to read the next book of that S'more series just to say I did it. It's only like how many pages? What, it was like 60 pages or whatever. Not
this
even.
This one was only
27. Yeah, it was so small.
Yeah.
I want to read them just because they are so tiny.
It was wild just because, like, we were talking about s'mores, and then just out of nowhere, there's a Cheeto. Yes. And I was like, What? But honestly, you know what? We're not shocked.
We're not shocked.
We signed up for that.
I mean, I feel like at least once a month we need to read some kind of sentient KU smut just to, like, make sure we're not being desensitized to it.
Yeah. And I think, too, it would be really fun if, like, we could get our listeners to help us with our buddy reads. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They can recommend what we read, and
yes, please.
We'll let them choose our sentient. Maybe we'll come up with some options, and then we can let them choose our path, our destination. But
where we're gonna go, because I could take us on a million different paths, and I don't know if you want to join me.
I'm locked in already, man.
What was the one I saw the other day? There was something, and I don't know if... Oh, I sent it to you. I don't even remember what it was, though. And I was like, add it to the list.
Oh, shit. I don't remember.
I can't remember. And I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know, man.
I don't know anymore. It's fine. We'll read something. I think that's like... But again, because we are both in like a rut when it comes to reading, it's been very hard to find something we both want to discuss as our buddy read for the month. So we are open to suggestions that we can read for May and June, because we would like to get that one started, of course. So any suggestions, we'll take them, because I think we tried 2, 3?
We did
several. I gave Carrie a whole list, and she's like, no.
I said I physically cannot. I physically cannot. But I will say, for June, I think I'm going to make you, for my birthday month, I think I'm going to make you read a hockey romance.
Oh, that's fine. I can do that. That's not a problem.
Have a little fight. Be like, no. It makes me... This is the thing, though, too, guys. Is that if I tell Liz, hey, this is our buddy read, she's like, okay, as long as there's an audiobook. But then my bitch ass, I'm like, I can't. It's too hard.
Even if there's not an audiobook, I just use assisted reader. And that way I just read them anyways. Because that's what I did with Knights of Obsidian. I always get the name wrong. Knights of Obedience. I did the assisted reader while I drove 3 hours. I read that book in the car to an event. And I laughed the entire way there. It was such a good distraction. It was so nice. And then I lost internet, and I couldn't find my way home.
Jesus.
I lost it for like 15 minutes, and I was like, I was supposed to turn like 10 minutes ago, and I don't know where the hell I'm at. It was a great time. It was a great time, everybody. It was so much fun. But yeah, I mean, I just want to appreciate my like log for my books really quick. Like, look how nice this is. Because we do these episodes, I have to update this, and so it's a nice array of like random books. And I'm getting through I did 2 of my books. This is me bragging for 5 seconds. Look, I did 2 of my physical books. I have 2 of them, and I did that in April.
I didn't read a single physical copy. I'm such a piece of shit.
I'm going to redo my hanging shelves. I'm going to redo those because they're falling off my wall, because I have a very old house and they're not staying up anymore after like 3 years. And so I want to redo it, but I have to like lessen the books that I have on the wall. So I'm trying to get through them. So these ones, while they were on my shelf, I need to make sure I'm going through all of them so that I can lessen what I have. And I may end up posting like, hey, take my physical books for the month of May and June, because I have so many of them. And I also am getting like a nice thick stack of books that I'm probably going to sell to, now have a mobile bookstore. And so I think I'm going to sell that to them. And I'm also they're going to be stocking my book. So
cute.
And update, because I don't ever update on my book stuff. I'm also going to be in a online bookstore in Indiana. So yay! I met them at the event the other weekend, and so it's called the Crafty Bookstore, I believe. They're online only right now, but they're an indie bookstore that is hopefully in the next couple years going to have a physical bookstore, and it is a husband-wife duo, and she's a reader, he's a gamer. They've been fantastic. I'm finalizing my contract with them so they can stock my book. So I'm excited.
Cute.
It's gonna be great.
I love that.
So yeah, it's fun times. Yeah. Other than that, this month we start our Villains and Vixens author interviews.
That you won't see me in the first episode.
You won't see me first episode. That's okay. That's okay. But we'll be announcing them on Monday after this one. So this will go live on Thursday. And then the following Monday, we'll be announcing who's going to be involved. This is a collaboration with Villains and Vixens. And so they have been fantastic. And I'm so excited. It was so much fun. It was a great time.
Yeah. It sounded like you guys all had a lot of fun. I'm really excited to watch the episode, see everything. The books from these authors are really amazing. And yeah, Villains and Vixens is coming up in September, so we are going to try and be showcasing as many authors as we can up until the event. Because Liz and I are going to be going. She's a signing author. I'm an influencer.
Yeah.
And we're going to meet for the first time.
I know. So, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And I do plan on doing like we do, if you follow the pages, we do a rec post every Friday. And so those are going to be involving more Villains and Vixens authors. So I'm going to try to focus at least once a month. We'll have entirely only Villains and Vixens authors. So that way you can all prepare for the event just like us. Even if you're not going, it'll be fun. These are people that we're going to be connecting with and that we hope to, if we're not already scheduled to have them on the podcast, we hope to have them on the podcast one day, or at least read their books for a buddy read. So it's good to like get those names known now because everyone's fantastic.
Yeah. And we've also already done some episodes with authors going to Villains and Vixens, not necessarily labeled as episodes like that, but just know like Penn Cole, Clio Evans, they're also going to be joining us. We've had Van on. She was in like a group interview.
Haley is going to go too. I'm pretty sure Haley's going, who was in the indie author chats that we had. So there's several of them that we've already talked to, and we will be focusing on more. Yeah. And we're excited to announce all of them. We'll announce them slowly, but we're super excited by it. There's some good ones. They're all good, but they're so fantastic.
But
wonderful.
Yeah,
stay tuned for more. But you know what? As always, remember to read what you want and don't be a dick.